Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on the Python programming language and game creation. So in this video I will show you all how to create a simple Hangman game. Now I'm currently on Google's website called colab.research.google.com, and I'm on it because it makes it simple and easy to get started writing Python code. Now if you're going to code along with me, then go ahead and go to this website and then log in using your Google account to get started writing your code. Alright, now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click on File, and I'm going to click on New Notebook in Drive to get started writing this code. And before we begin, if you like the videos on this channel, then be sure to click that subscribe and like button, and to be notified about new videos from this channel, hit that bell notification. Alright, so now we have this tab here, and in this tab I'm going to put in a comment. I'm going to put import the random library. So this will be the library that we will use for this program. So I'm going to import random, and then I'm going to run this cell by clicking this button here to the left, and this will let me know if I made any mistakes. Alright, so we're giving it a little time like it's done. I'm going to click this code button in the top left to create a new cell. So now we really can get into the meat of the program. So I want to talk a little bit about the Hangman game. So Hangman is a word guessing game where one player thinks of a word and the others or other try to guess it by suggesting letters. Correct guesses fill in the blanks, while incorrect guesses reduce the number of remaining guesses. The game ends when the word is guessed or the number of guesses run out. And of course you can choose the number of guesses. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to create a list of words that the user can choose from. All right, so we're going to create a variable called words, and I'm going to set it equal to an empty list for now, and we're going to fill in that empty list with words. So one word that I'm going to put is Python, the other word will be Hangman, and another word will be programming, and let's go with algorithm and function. Alright, so these are the words that can be guessed in this game. Also, I should let you all know that you can get this code or just support the channel on Patreon at patreon.com/computerscience, and I will leave a link for that in the description below. Alright, so let me go ahead and run this cell by clicking that button here to the left. Alright, so now we have our different words that the user can guess. Let's create a new cell. And now in this cell, I want to choose a random word. Alright, so I'm going to create a variable called word, and I'm going to set it equal to exactly what Google suggested there, which is random.choice, and then we're going to input words. So we're going to randomly choose a word from our words list. Alright, next I'm going to create a variable called guessed underscore letters, and this will hold the guesses that the user inputs. So every single letter that the user guesses will be inputted into this list. All right, so it will be in this list. So right now I'm setting it equal to an empty list, and later on we're going to append to this list every single letter that the user guesses. All right, so here I'm just going to create a empty list of letters that, or create an empty list that will be used to store the letters that the user guessed. All right. Okay, so next I'm going to create a variable called wrong underscore guesses. And I'm going to set this equal to 0. I'm just going to tab this over because that's exactly what we're doing here. So we're setting it equal to 0. We're going to increment it each time so we can get the number of wrong guesses. And this right here is to create a variable that will be used to count the number of wrong guesses. So that's exactly what this variable is for. All right, so let's go ahead and run this cell, and let's create a new cell. Okay, so now in this cell I'm going to create a function, and I'm just going to start creating it. Oh, perfect. So it looks like Google has suggested a function for us, and I'm going to tell you what function I really wanted to create, and it's the same one actually. So I wanted to create a function to display the word with the guessed letters. All right, and that looks like exactly what Google has created here for us. So let's take a look at it. So we created a function called display word that takes in no parameters, and then it created a variable called display and set it equal to an empty string, and then it loops through the word. So it says for letter in the word, if that letter is in our guessed letters, which is our guessed letters list, that's going to be the list that contains every single guess that the user inputs. So if the letter, which is in the word, is in the guessed letters, then the display will add that letter to display. Okay. Else it will add this underscore. All right. And so I'm going to change just a few things to this. Let's put plus, and I'm going to put a little space here, and I'm going to put a space here just so it's more visible. And instead of returning display, I'm just going to print it to the screen. So I'm going to put print display. All right. So let's go ahead and run this. And thank you, Google, for your suggestion. Let's create a new cell. All right. So next, I'm going to create a function to display the guessed letters. All right. So I'm just going to type def. I like what Google has put here. I'm just going to tab over, and let's take a look at this function. So Google created a function called display guessed letters with no parameters, and then it's going to print the guessed letters, which is good. And so it's going to join the guessed letters list here. All right, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and run that. So it's just going to display the guessed letters so we can see every single letter that the user guesses. Let's create a new cell, and now in this cell we are going to create the main game. All right, so I'm going to create a print statement, and I'm going to say welcome to Hangman, and then put a little exclamation mark, and then I'm going to print another statement. So I'm going to put guess the word by entering one letter at a time. All right, and then I'm going to print you have 9 wrong guesses before, oh, I don't like that. So 9 guesses before the game ends. On the 10th wrong guess, you lose. Period. All right. So now we want to create a loop for only 9 incorrect guesses. So here I'm going to put create a loop for 9 incorrect letter guesses. So I'm going to create a while loop just like what Google suggested here, and it's going to run while wrong guesses is less than 9. Let me see if that's right. So wrong guesses is 0, so it's going to run 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That works. All right. So we're going to have it display the word, which looks good. I'm going to put a little print statement here, and that way we get a new line, and then it's going to display the word. And now this is using the function that was created up top. So because right now there's nothing in guessed letters, so it's never going to go to this if statement here. It's going to always go to this else statement, and so it's going to just display these underscores, and those underscores, or the number of underscores that will be displayed, will be the same number as the length of the word. Okay, and then of course displayed guessed letters will be empty, so it's just going to print guessed letters, and we're not going to see anything after that. All right, so that looks pretty good. I like everything there, And now Google is giving us another suggestion, and I like it, so I'm just going to tab over and let's put some comments here to show or let the users or let whoever's reading the code know what's going on here. So here we are getting the user's input letter and making it lowercase. And the reason for this is so that we can compare apples with apples, right? If the user puts in a capital letter A and the word is algorithm, it actually won't find that letter, even though A is in algorithm. So we need A to be lowercase so that it can find A in algorithm or in any of these words, right? And so that's why we are converting the input to lowercase letters. All right, so I'm liking Google's suggestions right now. They're very, very helpful. It makes it really, really easy to code, and we can change up the code if we want to, right? So next, I'm going to create an if statement. So if the guess is already in the guessed word list, then skip the current iteration of the loop and move on to the next one. All right, so Google starts off giving us a small suggestion here, and we're not going to use that. Well, yeah, we are. We're going to use a little bit of it. If guess in guess letters, then we're going to continue. And actually, what I'm going to do is before that, I'm going to put a little print statement. Yep, I'm going to put you already guessed that letter. Try again. All right. Okay. So if it doesn't go there, then that means that the guessed letter has not been guessed already. So here I'm going to put if the guessed letter hasn't been guessed already, then append it to the guessed letter list. All right, so I'm going to create, or not create, I'm going to type guessed underscore letters dot append, and we're going to append the guess. And it looks like I tabbed over too much here. So we're going to append the guess here, right? The guess was the letter that the user inputted up here. This is where the user input that letter. All right, and all these other suggestions I don't like, so I'm just going to get rid of all this. All right, and let's tab this over. All right, now if let's put a comment here. So if the guessed word or let me think here. If the guessed letter is not in the randomly chosen word, then increase wrong guess by 1. All right, and I'm just going to tap this over, and I liked Google's recommendation here. So if guess not in word, then wrong guesses plus equals 1, print wrong guess. All right, I like that. Okay, and it gives another suggestion here to show how many wrong guesses are left. I do kind of like that. I'm just going to tab over. I didn't really think about doing anything like that before. So that's just going to show us how many guesses we have left over. All right. And let's go ahead and just bring that on up there. All right. Okay, so now I want to check if the user guessed the word with all of the letters that the user guessed. All right, so I like this suggestion here. I'm just going to tap this over, and we're going to use this all function. And so this all function from Python will basically check to see if these guessed letters are in that word. All right. So basically, if they have guessed letters, can have as many letters as it wants to, right? You can have A to Z, and if any of those letters are in the word, then this statement is true. This function all is true, and it's going to print congratulations, you guessed the word, and we're going to print the word that it guessed or that the user guessed. All right. Now I want to also check if the user ran out of number of guesses. All right. So Google here gives us a suggestion. If wrong guesses equal 9, sorry, print sorry. You ran out of guesses. The word was word, and then we're gonna break. You know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm going to instead, I'm gonna make this an else statement, and I'm gonna print sorry, you ran out of guesses. The word was, and I'm gonna put the word. So this else statement is actually connected to this while loop. All right. So whenever this is not true, then we're going to go to this else statement here, and this lets us know that we ran out of number of guesses. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this program. All right, so it says, welcome to Hangman. Guess the word by entering one letter at a time. You have 9 wrong guesses. The game ends. Oh, let's stop that. You have 9 wrong guesses, and I'm going to put before 9 wrong guesses before the game ends. So let's go ahead and run this again. All right, so welcome to Hangman. Guess the word by entering one letter at a time. You have 9 wrong guesses before the game ends. On the 10th wrong guess, you lose. All right, so we have these underscores, which are the length of the word. The number of these are equal to the length of the word that we're trying to guess. So I noticed that every single word has either an O or an N in it. So I'm going to put an O first. So this does have an O in it. And let's put N. So it does not have an N in it. So let's go up. I'm just going to scroll up and cheat a little bit because I want to know which one has an O in it and doesn't have an N, and that's the word algorithm. So is this algorithm? So let's put A. Let's put a capital L. So notice that it still compared L with L, right? Because it turned it to be a lowercase l. I'm going to put G, R, I, T, H, and M. Okay, so the game ends. So I gotta scroll down, and it says you guessed the word algorithm. Perfect. All right, so let's click on runtime. Let's click run all to rerun this program. And now let's choose some letters that we know are not in some of these words. So I'm going to choose X. I'm going to choose Y. Let's choose Z, Q. Oh, I guess Y is in there. Didn't really know. So let's see what word this is. I'm just going to come up here and cheat a little bit. It's Python. Okay, so I'm going to try to not choose letters in Python. So let's choose E. Let's choose R. Let's choose S. Let's choose D. Let's choose C. All right, how many letters do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so we have 9 letters. We guessed 1 correctly. So we've guessed 8 incorrectly. So again, the word is Python. So I'm gonna put K here. And so that was our 9th one. Let me make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I need to increase the while loop by 1. So let's just click run time, run all. Oh, sorry. Let's just stop this. Let's increase that while loop by 1, right? Because I want them to get I want them to have 9 wrong guesses, and then on the 10th one I want it to end. So runtime, run all, and let's see, number of guesses. Oh, we're gonna have to change this to 10 as well. So let's stop this, click on runtime, run all, go back here. We're gonna put in X, we're gonna put in Z, we're gonna put in Q, we're gonna put in K, we're gonna put in L, we're gonna put in, let's see, we'll put in Z again and see if it gets added to the list, and it doesn't, which is good. We're gonna put in R, S. Oh, there is an S. It looks like I have 3 wrong guesses left. Let's do P. Oh, it does not have S. Okay. So we have 2 wrong guesses left. Let's go with, I already have Q. Let's go with U and V. All right, perfect. So now the game ends. You have 0 wrong guesses left. Sorry you ran out of guesses. The word was Hangman. Okay, so that's basically the program. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Also, again, you can get this code or just support the channel on patreon.com/computerscience, and that will be in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you got to see how Google Colab can give you recommendations on code to write, which is really, really cool. I hope you got to see how easy Python is to use. And I will see you all in the next video. So have a great day. Bye-bye.